All right. Perfect. All right. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for being here. We've got Facebook Live going on today. We got a recording going on today. We got tornadoes coming our way. We got rain. We got all kinds of stuff. This is our third workshop we've done here live, and it's rained every single time. So that's good fun. But this is our sixth workshop that we've done post-COVID. So we're bringing the groups back together and getting this information back out because it's vitally important for everybody to be healthy and enjoy life again. So every single month has been a different subject. This month has been requested many times. It's weight loss and working out. What should I eat? How do I lose weight? Stuff like that. So I'm going to take my shot at helping everybody out and losing weight and feeling good. My focus is always not just pounds. It's actually more on the BMI side of things, because you can be really muscular and be, basically over your weight. Or if you try to lose weight, you might be losing inches but staying the same weight because you're gaining muscle. Does that make sense? So there's no magic pill. I hope you guys know that. There is one that they're talking about on the news a lot, and everybody thinks it's the magic pill, but it's not. It's causing a lot of major issues out there, and I'll get into that in a bit. There's no secret. Really, we just all have to start, okay? Got to start somewhere. You don't need more time. You don't need more intensity. You don't need any more motivation. You just got to be focused, right? You got to be focused. You got to be committed, and there's just pure sheer will. You gotta stick to it, okay? It might be scary just to make the changes, to take that extra step. But what's really scary is a year from now being the same or being worse, right? So it's less scary if you just take that next step up. Just instead of the intensity that everybody thinks they need, like everybody gets all gung-ho. They're like, I'm going to start this fad diet. I'm going to do this exercise. I'm going to go gung-ho. And then a week later, you just fizzle off and you're burnt out, right? Anybody gone through that yet? Yes, exactly. So instead of just going all out at once, let's just stay consistent. Baby steps, little by little, and just stick to it for the long run. So also, when you're comparing yourself to others, that's like the worst thing you can do. Like, oh, I've lost 10 pounds, but that person lost 50 pounds or something like that, right? The guy that rides the bus is jealous of the guy who's got the bike. The guy who's got the bike is jealous of the guy who's got the car. The guy who's got the car is, jealous of the guy who's got the Ferrari. The guy who's got the Ferrari is, jealous of the guy who's got the boat. The other guy, planes, helicopters. It just keeps going, right? So just compare yourself, right? You're in competition with yourself. So where you're at today, let's see where you're at in 6 months. Let's see where you're at in a year. So just you're in your own world there. And overthinking isn't going to get you anywhere, right? It's just whirling around in your head, but doing is the biggest thing, taking action. So you might not be hitting the target or the bullseye every single time, but at least you're making action, taking action, and moving in the right direction. So I've said this in past workshops too, but I just love this story. Socrates and the students, right? So the student comes to Socrates and says, I want to be a great success, right? Socrates goes, okay. So they head down to the river. You might have heard this before. And he shoves the kid's head, underwater. And he's flailing around and stuff like that, and got loose and, got his breath back. And like, you're crazy, Socrates. What's going on? Runs away. Like, I'm not coming back to you. Next day he comes back. Socrates, you were trying to kill me. Why are you trying to drown me? I want success. Okay. Goes down to the river again. Holds the kid's head under the water again. Can't breathe, almost drowning, just happened for a couple days. And then finally the kid goes, I want to breathe, right? Well, if you want success as badly as you want to breathe right now, you're going to get it, right? If you want to lose weight that bad, you're going to get it, right? You're going to be focused, and you're going to be committed, and you're going to go after it. But unfortunately, we're not all in, right? We're not committed to it enough. There's tons of books, tons of information, right? There's tons of programs. There's free stuff on YouTube. There's podcasts. There's fad diets that we all hear about and read. We've got tons of gyms. But yet, the sad reality in our country is we've got tons of antidepressants, we've got diabetes. Most people, 1 out of 2, 1 out of 3 people are diagnosed with cancer sometime in their lifetime. A third of us are obese, another third are overweight in America, and almost 600,000 people are dying from heart disease every year. So that's 1 out of 4. So those are scary stats. So again, if we don't do something, if you don't take care of yourself, we end up as one of these stats. So added weight is always bad for our joints. So as a chiropractor, I'm talking about the joints, so we can see degenerative hips in this X-ray. We've got degenerative knees in this X-ray. All right, this is a neck. You can see all the bone spurs that are starting to grow in there, how the disc space is really shrunk down. So any added weight is just going to be putting all this pressure onto our joints. And if you're twisting and turning and lifting, it's just going to be grinding away like you're driving with your wheels out of alignment. And when there's pressure on the nerves, the brain and the body can't communicate. You can't digest your food properly. You can't get rid of the toxins, and your body doesn't work, right? So this is the lower back as well. Normal spine, tailbone, lumbar curve. All the disc spaces are nice and thick. Good spinal cord, right? You can see over here how thin all those discs have gotten. All the disc bulges that are going back into the spinal canal and hitting the spinal cord. So all these things are miserable for people. So next thing you're doing is cortisone injections, trying to numb the pain, and then we end up, with surgery, which that doesn't look good for anybody, right? Just look how far off this guy's hips are. So we got to take care of ourselves. The expectation is really to be like that, cute and pretty, and everything's great. But reality, this is kind of what we're dealing with, right? We've all made that face before. I've made that face. I see that in my wife all the time, but she knows. And then we just end up like this during the day, right? We're stressed out of our minds. We're just looking for convenience all the time. Job pressure, medical expenses, crises are happening, relationships, poor nutrition that we have. We're overloaded with social media and other media and news. We're sleep deprived. So it's just a rough world that we're living in. And so we end up into this situation. Weight gain is shown to give you gastrointestinal problems, heart attacks, hypertension, stroke, cancer, immune system disturbances. We got skin problems, autoimmune, even sleep issues, and that's just a downward spiral as it gets worse. So with the holiday weight gains, right, the studies are showing that typical person will gain at least 1 pound during the holiday season. If you're already overweight, you're typically gaining close to 5 pounds every holiday season, and most of us aren't getting rid of it, right? So when you look at the holidays, you would think that it's only a couple days out of the year. So we got Thanksgiving, we've got Christmas, we got New Year's. That's three days, but really it starts Halloween, right? So October 31st, November 1st, somewhere around there, and then it goes through January 7th or so after New Year's. Those are the holidays. When you add in all those special days like anniversaries or birthdays, secretary days, there's cakes and all kinds of stuff that are coming to the office. That's about 30 days. So really we're looking at 90 days a year is the holidays, okay? That's a fourth of the year. Add that up, that's a fourth of your life, right? So we're bombarded by all these things, destructive lifestyles, about a fourth of our life. So it's not just a couple days. So where are we at? This is the fun part. I brought a toy. I'm not going to force anybody to do this, but you're welcome to afterwards. I've talked about this, I think, last workshop. I bought this scale a month or two ago, and basically, instead of just measuring your weight, which most people hop on the scale and they start crying, right? So that's just measuring your weights. This measures a lot more things. When I first got into practice 10, 15 years ago or so. These things cost about $100 to be in the office, or sorry, $1,000 to be in the office, and it printed out this thing, and it gave you a bunch of readings. But now they're well under $100 on Amazon. But basically what it does is it sends a little microcurrent through your feet and your hands, and it crisscrosses, and it measures a bunch of different things in your body. So I'm okay with showing you my numbers. I'm 163 pounds now. I'm almost 42 years old. I've been able to maintain that weight pretty good, up and down a little bit, but so my weight's 163, my BMI is 23, so I'm all green. Body fat at 16%. In college, I was like 6% or something like that. They did the calipers. I was also playing D1 hockey. I was lifting weights. I was eating like cereal in the dorm rooms, like never sleeping, just stressed out of my mind. That's kind of how I was, in college. Fat mass is about 26 pounds. My muscle mass is 127 pounds. So you can see how you can get specific metrics on yourself rather than just the weight, because that's depressing. But if I look at this, I'm in a lot of green. There's also water weight, so I'm about 100 pounds in water. I'm supposed to be drinking about 80 ounces of water a day. It's half my body weight, so I try to drink at least 3 of these a day. I'm at about 63% water. The goal would be to get to 70% water. You'd think, well, more water means more weight, because a lot of people lose water weight in the first month and they think they're losing weight, but then they plateau. Having water in your body and your cells allows everything to function like it's supposed to. Digestion's better, lungs breathe better, you get better oxygen in your system, you sweat, your skin works better. Everything works better when you're properly hydrated. When you're dehydrated, then your cells, instead of working like a grape, they're more like raisins, right? They're not going to function like they're supposed to. It even tells me my visceral fats, that's like a scale of 1 to 10. So 10 would be really bad. Luckily, I'm in the 3, in the low, in the green. And my body age, so like I said, I'm almost 42. So based on calculating my biological age, I'm younger than I am, which is good, because I want to be younger, not older than I actually am. So if you guys are interested, you're welcome to step on this, after the workshop. I plug it into my phone. I'll plug in as guest. It'll be our little secret. Okay, I won't show it to everybody. I'll send it or text it to you, and you can have the numbers if you're interested. Or for less than $100, you can get one yourself. It does map it, so if you do it 10 times a week, it'll map it 10 times a week. If you do it once a month, it'll show you if you're going in the right direction or wrong direction. So also prints off a really neat report for you too, and gives you a little more analysis on there too. So check it out. I told you I played hockey, so of course I got to quote the great Wayne Gretzky. So you gotta skate where the puck is going, right? So have the goal, have the begin with the end in mind, right? Have that goal set up. Where do you want to be in 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years? Set the date, write it down, whatever the weight is, whatever your goal is. Maybe it's inches, maybe it's BMI, whatever it is, set it, and then just everything that you do, everywhere you go, lunch, breakfast, dinner, driving, all that stuff, just focus on getting there over time. So our bodies are really amazing. They do incredible things. We know a very little fraction of what our bodies are actually capable of, but we know a lot. For example, Dana's little boy yesterday, Noah, he was sick, feeling horrible, fever, miserable. Usually he's like running around screaming. He's the loudest one in the office. Got adjusted. Did he throw up last night? I forget. Yeah. He threw up last night, went to bed early, woke up, back to normal, right? The body is amazing at healing itself. But obviously as we age, we've done enough stuff that we reduce that great ability to rebound in a day. But we really do have our bodies are really high performance engines. So we do have to fuel it like it's supposed to. feeling it with sugar and a bunch of other junk is not the greatest result to go. I've talked about food in a lot of the other workshops, and that took a whole 60 minutes just talking on food. So I'm just going to get right to the point on these. So we really got to clean up our carbs, right? Less sugar or no sugar at all. If you're doing sprouted stuff, that works. Lots of veggies, lots of low glycemic fruits would be the berries. Anything with a berry at the end, blueberry, raspberry, like those are fine, but try to do it in moderation. And then fixing your fats, so the good fats. Nope. All right, Dane, you're in trouble. Come to the front row. Yep. Fixing the fats, so no more trans fats, right? That's in everything. It's in our boxes. It's in our fried foods. So that stuff turns our fat cells or our cells into like saran wrap, right? It doesn't allow it to breathe. It doesn't function like it's supposed to. So adding in coconut oil, olive oil, avocado oil, grass-fed butter, all absolutely amazing things for health and for weight loss. But if you don't cut out the sugars, then your body doesn't burn the fat. Your body's going to go right to the sugar first to burn it. And a lot of us live off of sugar, and we're just burning that and not expending enough energy to get there. Perfecting the proteins, so clean proteins. One of the main things with weight loss is that we're toxic. Our buckets are full, and it doesn't allow the oxygen or the cells to function, and you retain the fat. A lot of toxins are absorbed in the fat and just stay there. So we got to clean the proteins up, trash the toxins, like I said. I'll give you a little secret. So when you buy organic food, it's expensive, right? It's expensive. Well, you're buying organic food, it's expensive, so you end up eating less because it's expensive, right? When you're eating the cheap food, you eat a lot of it, and you're not even full after you eat the cheap garbage food, So that's another little secret to help with the weight loss. We talked about drinking water already. It's just going to allow the body to function at that much better. I would highly suggest 50% of your body weight in ounces. Everybody gives me the big eyes when I tell them that. They're like, I would drown. There's no way. I'd be in the bathroom all the time. But once you do it consistently enough, your body functions that much better. You sleep better. You have more energy. You're out and about a lot more. And it ends up evening out just fine. But yes, in the beginning, you'll probably be running to the bathroom a lot. So good old classic cardio, getting on the treadmill and just walking or running forever. I've done it myself. It's not the most fun thing to do. I don't know if you guys knew this. I just learned this today when I was looking for a picture. I was looking for a picture of like a bunch of people just on a treadmill, just sweating and not having any fun. I typed in a couple different things, and I think one of them was like treadmill poison or treadmill torture or something like that. I don't know what decade or century, but they used to use treadmills as torture. Do you know that? No. They had all these pictures of, I don't know, prisoners or something like that, or people that got in trouble on these big kind of windmill things, and they were just on these things forever, and they used it as torture a long time ago. I was like, I need to research this more because that's very interesting. So you go to the gym and you see a bunch of people doing it for fun, and you pay for it. A lot of people buy it for their basement and never use it, So, I mean, I've done a half marathon, I've done a full marathon, I've done triathlon, stuff like that. So I've been out there, I've done the running. It is kind of fun, but I think I lost a lot of muscle mass and stuff like that, and my knees hurt and from doing all the running. But really, cardio can lower your heart rate. There's definitely benefits to doing classic cardio. It can lower your blood pressure, can help with circulation, things like that. Even helps with training and detoxification. but also causes a lot of hormone stress. So cortisone definitely goes up. The stress hormone cortisol can get you to be more hungry, right? So we end up eating more. It can end up allowing you to store more fat. It can break down your muscles. It can decrease your testosterone. So rather than doing cardio, which is kind of long and boring and like causes a lot of stress, there's other directions we can go. But for this one is the Ozempic, the drug that everybody's taken as a magic pill, which in the beginning it was more of a diabetes drug to regulate their blood sugar. So people started taking it for weight loss, and it definitely has been helping people lose weight, but it's also causing a lot of other side effects, which is coming out right now. Main ones that I saw was like you got the Ozempic face, like your sockets kind of go back into your face, and there's just doesn't look good. People are going into surgery, and then since their food isn't digesting because it's just staying in their stomach, it's actually coming back up, and they're aspirating. It's going back in their lungs. People are getting pregnant now because it's actually affecting their birth control, and so they're getting pregnant when they're taking this thing too. And there's a whole long list of organ failure and other issues, nausea, diarrhea, things like that. So, which for some reason, when people hear side effects, I feel like they just run to the drug. They're like, I want that. It just doesn't make any sense. So it's not a magic pill. Unfortunately, it's out there. Just do a quick search. You'll see how bad it is out there. Again, if you just commit and do the right things, you can lose weight. Millions of people have done it before. So I'm a big fan of the HIIT training, the surge training. You don't have to be on a treadmill for an hour doing this moderate exercise. Last year in May, every Wednesday we did a workout outside the office in the grass. We did some, basically quick exercises that kick your growth hormone into gear and lower your cortisol levels. So then your body ends up doing fat burning for the next 36 hours on your own without having to do the exercise. So it's just a little bit more intense than the slow, moderate exercise on the treadmill. So basically you can pick any exercise that you want. So if you like running, you can run in place as hard as you can. If you like push-ups, you can do as many push-ups as you can. You can do lunges, you can cycle, you can swim. But the goal is just to do a very short duration, high intense exercise. And like I said, that kicks the hormones into gear to actually do the fat burning for you. If you take was it 220 minus your age, that's your max heart rate you want to get to, or your max at 100%. You only need to get to 80 to 90% of your max heart rate to get to this level of burning fat when you're sleeping. So like I said, it's just really quick duration, high intensity. Best thing to do is do it in the morning on an empty stomach. That's where the growth hormone is the highest, and that's going to work the best. It's going to increase the fat burning. It's going to increase building muscle. For example, for that, you always see the marathon runners. They're really skinny and bony, right? But then you got the sprinters who are swole, like they rip muscles. They're very lean. So it just proves when you do something more intense, high intensity, short duration, you just get more lean muscle. And more muscle uses more energy, more oxygen, and burns more fat. So you'll be in better shape anyways. So these are a couple of the examples of the surge training, burst training, metabolic conditioning. It's going to increase that growth hormone. It's going to increase the testosterone. When we hit 35, especially for males, our testosterone just starts to plummet. One of the biggest things with our beer bellies, that produces a lot more estrogen in our bodies, which is lowering our testosterone. Actually, the testosterone is converting to estrogen, so that's going in the wrong direction. With women too, women have testosterone, just not as much as men do. So it's still okay. You're not going to look like one of those bodybuilders if you're doing this. You're just going to get more lean. Again, more oxygen, more waste elimination. These are all just amazing things. The biggest part is the afterburn. When you do this exercise, you have the afterburn effect. So you exercise for the 12 minutes or 20 or whatever you want to do, and then the rest of the day when you sleep, your body's still burning fat for you. So pretty neat. When we first started promoting this or doing this, we'd be at seminars with 500, 600 people outside at 4 in the morning at a hotel. We'd all be burst training. It was super fun. So exhausting, but super fun. Here's just a couple studies on the comparison of a group who did the moderate exercise and the group that did the more intense exercise. And the more intense exercise, obviously, they were able to exercise a lot less, but they had just as good or better results for sure. So also with metabolic syndrome, so that's like your high blood pressure, your high cholesterol, your waistline obesity, like stuff like that. That syndrome, when you do this type of exercise, it actually combats those exact things. So you improve that way. No, just to reiterate, when you're doing the HIIT training, high intense interval training, you can pick any exercise you want. So if you like to run, just sprint, right? If you like to ride your bike, just go faster, right? For a short amount of times. You can still be on the elliptical, you can still be on the treadmill, but what you can do is crank up the treadmill to whatever speed you can get to, but you're basically on the outside of it, and then you jump onto it running really fast, and then you jump off. It can be 10 seconds, it can be 15 seconds, whatever you want to do. If you can't do a push-up on the floor, you can do a push-up on the wall. You can do it at work, you can do it wherever you're at. This one is a little example of one of the exercises. Can you hear that okay? So like if you just YouTube this or searched, there's songs that go to a beat that tell you 20 seconds, 10 seconds. So basically you just listen to the music as you're doing whatever exercise you want. So this is just examples of people doing burst training. So you can hear the music, so you break for the 20 seconds or 10 seconds. 10 on, 10 off, 20 on, 20 off, whatever you want to do. Tabata songs, Tabata, there's lots of apps you can download for free and set it up and just go for it. So get the point? So I just want to give you guys a challenge, summer shape challenge. So just get committed, right? Everybody wants to be in that bikini or that Speedo, right? Right? No? So whatever you want to do, whatever motivation it takes, right? So let's just say for 28 days, work on this. If it's just a little bit, if it's just one push-up or something like that, do it. Instead of the potato chips, I'm going to eat the apple. Just like, make those steps and just build as you go. Next thing you know, you're full on vegetables. So, and we also have to get into some healthy mindsets too. So of course there's going to be some negative talk that goes into your brain. That's like 99% of our own thoughts are all negative, right? So tough times don't last, but tough people do. So if you get through something tough, you're tougher for it, right? I focus on what I want and not what I don't want. A quitter never wins, a winner never quits. My day will come. I love my life. Just like more positive affirmations to yourself. Love yourself, and just get rid of the self-talk sabotage. So I have to, or I will get, right? I have to, or I see myself. You can just change that verbiage. I hope I can. Well, I know I can. If you just say stuff like that, it's going to go a long way. I hope I can lose weight. Like, no, I know I can lose weight. There's plenty of information out there. There's plenty of resources. It's just sticking to it. So this is the fun part, okay? So small choices add up, right? So what do you think? We got the escalator and we got the stairs. What do you think you should take? Stairs. Right? So those little things, just take the stairs, right? Now, this is a picture of Pick and Save, the one right down the road. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people go there because it's Maguanago. So you just worked 5 days, you're tired, you just want to get your groceries, right? So you're driving in and you find this parking spot right there, right? So what do you do? It's a real Google image, right? Right? Now we don't pick that spot. We go in the back, right? Let's take this one way in the back. It's just those little things that can add up, right? If you're trying to get your 10,000 steps or 20,000 steps, you're gonna get 500, maybe 100 more steps, going that way, right? So little things go a long way. This is the typical layout of a grocery store, right? You got the entry right here. So what's the best way to go through a grocery store? Do you guys know? Around it, right? You guys know it. Stick to the outside. The first one, if you can get past that floral lady, they're like, you should get some flowers for your wife. I get that all the time, right? So you gotta go right by it. I'm like, I gotta get my fruit or my produce. So this is a great area. Tons of produce, tons of healthy things. You got your veggies and your fruit. Good place to hang out. If you keep going, you got the bulk section, so you got a lot of healthy nuts and things like that, and trail mixes, and there's some granola which can get kind of sugary. Dairy, we live in the dairy state. We all love our cheese. We all love all that stuff, but we gotta minimize it as much as possible.
Cut down on cheese, you say?
I mean, how much cheese do you eat?
I don't eat any.
Oh, no cheese. It's just something like that. She's a cheese eater. Yeah. It's amazing.
You're the only one in this room that isn't a cheese eater.
Cheese is amazing. If we can get into the softer cheeses, the more aged cheese, a little better. Goat cheese, better proteins. The cow milk proteins are so big, our bodies don't even know what to do with it. Hence all the mucus and everything that we end up doing when we're drinking all the milk and things like that. So yeah, goat milk, goat cheese, things like that. Still decent. Almond milk, you got oat milk, you got coconut. Thank you. Like those are better alternatives for sure. The big old milk thing. We live in the dairy state, so they're always going to push it. There's a lot of pus and big proteins and all kinds of nasty stuff in there, and acne and other hormone issues. And haven't seen any study where besides that's been sponsored by the dairy industry that your bones actually get stronger, stuff like that. So weight-bearing exercises, like vitamins, like broccoli and things like that have been shown calcium to get back better in the bones. All right, so then keep on going. Frozen section, I actually am a big fan of the frozen section. There's a simple truth. There's lots of organic stuff in the freezer section, and it just lasts a little longer. It's like one of the biggest things is you go to the grocery store and you get all these fruits and vegetables and you're so excited and you don't even get through it. They just go bad and you just wasted the money. Plenty of stuff in the frozen section. I like the vegetable medleys and stuff like that I'll keep in the freezer, and then I just a cup or two and steam them, and you're good to go with some veggies. There's good proteins and chicken and things like that are frozen on the organic side in that frozen section too. Wasn't the perfect picture, but sometimes the hot bar is good. Usually it's just a bunch of bad oils and stuff like that. I love the hot bar at Whole Foods. I can trust that, right? But we just don't have one very close to us. Have to drive quite a bit. In the longevity workshop, we talked about some red wine, so maybe we can go buy that for some for that wine in Sardinia that helps the men live to 100 years old. I forgot what it was called. Started with the C. But yeah, pay for it and then get out. So what we don't want to do is go through those aisles. There's some things in there. I'll get some some bars and things like that for to go things. There's organic things and condiments and stuff like that, but majority of it is all boxes, and that stuff's made for shelf life, and so there's other things in there. But the goal is to avoid the aisles as much as possible. Stay to the outside as much as you can, right? Pretty simple. So here's a fun one. Okay, so you're driving your car, it's the middle of the day, you're getting hungry. What do you typically do? Maybe want to admit it?
You want us to say like Culver's or Star Wars?
It could be. Typically, it's maybe not McDonald's, but it's typically a drive-through, right? You just want to get it quick. Is that the right choice? I love this. No. Remember that meme? Think about that. Going through a drive-through. No. Batman just slapped you. So you don't want to be this guy. Don't want to be that guy. So probably stressed out, trying to run back to work, grabbing a bite to eat, just shoving down empty calories, probably still hungry after he eats it. So no matter what, we always, if you're committed to your goal and you're focused, no matter what, we gotta steer in the right direction. You gotta go for those green leafy vegetables, the fruits, the vegetables, the good things, the convenient food, the cheaper food, I would even say, tastier food, I would even say, isn't going to help you with the goal that you want to hit. So you got your pick and save, right? Park in the back, right? Go to that beautiful produce section. Look at all that awesome food right there. It's all waiting for you. I also like these little refrigerators on the side. There's a lot of pre-cut fruit, berries, things like that. There's even sometimes some salads that are pre-made for you if you really need to be in a rush. And so that's a good area to seek out, better than the drive-thru. Agreed? Okay. So just think of Batman. And then you got the bulk section, which I mentioned before. You got lots of trail mixes and things like that, packaged nuts. So this is another one of my to-go items. There's Pastor. Hey, you're supposed to be in here. So this is Dr. Davis's own formulas. Dr. D's red, superfoods, and greens. So this is your powdered fruits and vegetables. So it's just a great way to have to go. You just take a scoop, throw it in the water, and swirl around. Looks more like Kool-Aid. These things actually taste really good. The berries, the reds are kiwi and strawberry. The greens are a bunch of different things, but it's your green leafy vegetables, but mainly it tastes like watermelon. When I first started drinking these things, it literally tasted like pond water. Like you would scoop it out of the pond and drink it. That's how it tastes. But I knew it was good for me. Probably a really good bacteria if it was really pond water. This stuff has good probiotics and stuff like that in it. But again, it's just a good to go thing. You can throw it in a smoothie. You can do things like that. We've made them in the popsicles before for the kids and things like that for the summer. So Dr. Davis does have a weight loss section on his website. He's got the Oxyburn. He's got these keto drops. He's got the raspberry ketones, blood sugar balance. These are supplements specific to balancing those sugars, cutting out the sugars, and getting into the fat burning zone. So those are specific from his website. It's just davisnutrition.com. If you want another 15% off, use Dr. Chad 15 off, and you get another 15 off. If you sign up for monthly, you get even more off. So it works really well when you just set it up monthly. If I order one at a time, I never order again. You know what I mean? I run out and I just forget about it, and then I'm not getting the benefits. But when I have it set up automatically, I take them and I always have enough, and I get the results that I'm looking for, right? So that's that. The reason Dr. Davis made his own formulas, his own supplement line, because he saw how much garbage in the supplement world there was out there. So for example, you could be buying a supplement that's made in a lab or manufacturing place where they also make laundry detergent, right? So they'll make the laundry detergent in the vats and stuff like that, and then they'll kind of rinse it out, and then they'll start making the supplements. You know what I mean? And you get trace amounts of the laundry detergent in the supplements, trace amounts, but it's still in there. So he got all the certifications that you can get that barely any supplements have. Usually there's 1 or 2 per supplement, but he got all 4 to make it the absolute highest quality stuff you can have. Specifically, everything, all the ingredients are straight from the U.S. He's not shipping them in from anywhere else. So that's Davis Nutrition. You guys might have seen this commercial in the past. I thought it would be good to show it because it's hard to watch, but I think it speaks loudly. Hopefully it made an impact on the United States, but probably people just kind of laughed at it, like, oh, that's not how life actually is. So we'll see if it plays, and I think it's about 1:30.
Just came in, heart attack. 5'9", 400 pounds, 32 years old.
How the hell is that?
Can I get a,
Could be low diabetes. Yes, make change. Oh yeah.
You're graduating! Watch TV, you wouldn't go to sleep.
You can't do this.
Yes, can I get a...
No, I can't do it.
You have to make a change. Talk to him. I'll get an A+. And your fries, sweetie. It's okay. I'm gonna go get the shower fresh ice cream. No. Lindsay, don't do anything that'll make you stop.
Well, eye-opening, a little scary to watch something like that, but unfortunately, when did it start? What gets people to that point, right? And when you look at it that way, you can really see how feeding kids this junk is really child abuse, right? Like you're teaching them this junk food and sodas and stuff like that, and just it's a downward spiral from there. So surrounding yourself, like being the example, helping people in the right direction is really the direction we got to go. So let's see. I thought there was a little more. So yeah, so pretty much everybody here is actually already getting adjusted, but obviously having properly running nervous system is one of the best things you can have, because you can live a month without food, you can go days without water, you can even hold your breath for a couple minutes, but you can't go a second without your nerve supply. It controls everything in your entire body. So getting the proper nerve system, if any bones are in alignment, you saw those x-rays, the MRIs, how much pressure can go on your spinal cord, on your nerves. So let's just say you've got pressure on nerves going to your intestines, or pressure on nerves going to your heart, right? You might not know there's an issue until the symptoms arise years later. Symptoms are usually the last thing to show up, first thing to go. A lot of times we might have a symptom, we just ignore it or we cover it up. So getting to the cause, getting your body to do the functioning and healing is a better investment in your health than anything you can do. So any of these warning signs, headaches, menstrual problems, high blood pressure, depression, numbness, tingling, sciatica, plenty more, acid reflux, fatigue, constipation, all these things, these are just a short list, neck pain, of why, or telling you that your spine's misaligned, and it's causing problems. So normal curve in the neck, healthy spine, unhealthy spine. Now it's all compression, all wear and tear, all degeneration. We do nerve scans, muscle scans in the office if you guys would come in the first visit. But everybody here who's not a patient, we would just obviously just do a VIP pass for you. It'd be $0 at all just to come in VIP, because most of you guys are getting adjusted. But for anybody who's not, anybody you know, anybody in your Starbucks line, if you're gonna still go there, anybody's in pain, we want to help. Our mission here is to help the community as much as possible. We want to decrease the amount of people going through and being sick or using the hospitals for drugs and surgery and all this stuff. We really believe that our bodies can do the healing, and we want to help as many people as possible. So if you feel a little overwhelmed with all this stuff, the philosophy, the guideline is to go back to the one, just brush one tooth principle. Okay, what that is like, I don't want to brush my teeth. Like, I don't want to floss my teeth, right? It's so annoying, but okay, I'm gonna floss one tooth, right? And once you floss one tooth, okay, I'm just gonna keep going, right? I don't want to work out. Okay, I'm gonna put my gym clothes on. Okay, I did it. Okay, now I'm ready to work out, right? Oh, I'm so tired. I really don't feel like doing a workout. Okay, let's do one push-up on the wall. Okay, now I'll keep going. You know what I mean? Like, just like start with one, and since you're already there, you're just gonna keep going. So, all right. Well, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming. If anybody's interested in hop on the scale, again, it's gonna be my little secret. I'll send it to you, and then I'll post it online. I'm just kidding. With the name blocked out. Just kidding. I wouldn't do that. HIPAA. Can't do that. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
What is that scale?
What's it called?
Yeah.
The app is Fit something. Oh, that's what it's called.